There's tremendous, tremendous fear. And I think a key question is, how do you respond to that fear? I mean, how does an individual people respond to the fear? And what's extraordinary about the queer community is, of course, the queer community said, well, we got to take care of people, and began food banks and prevention programs. Once we began to know enough about something about what was occurring, the belief became that, well, this appears to be a transmittable disease. And so you got the very first prevention programs. Now, the very first ones aren't created by the government, aren't created largely by the health department. One of the very first is put out by the Harvey Milk Gay Democratic Club. But at a certain point, the response became anger over the fact that clearly the government was not moving quickly to fund research, to provide care programs. And in addition, many government forces were moving the opposite direction to try to attack people who were gay. Crazy, crazy proposals, including in 1986 and 1988, there were quarantine initiatives on the ballot in California. So when you think about what was the response, you get the fear, and then you get, okay, let's take care of each other. And then slowly that metamorphoses into, this is unfair, and something needs to be done, and nothing will be done unless we stand up and do something about it. And that's part of the legacy of Harvey Milk. Harvey was very much, power gets taken. You've got to stand up and say something. Nobody's going to stand up if you don't do it. So the gay community of San Francisco had a certain experience with, what should we do? How do we do? And what would Harvey do? Well, Harvey would probably march, or Harvey would do a rally, Harvey would do a press conference. And, of course, you saw also tremendous devastation. So many of the gay men who would have been logical leaders of the AIDS pandemic died very quickly. The community's response to AIDS changed in 1996 when the cocktail came out, and it began that that AIDS was not a relatively quick death sentence. It's changed the sense of urgency of something has to occur, or I may die, my best friend might die, my partner might die, my son might die. That existed for the first 15 years of the pandemic.